This is CBN NewsWatch.
And thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I am Ephraim Graham. In a closely watched race for what it could mean for the midterms, the Republican wins in Arizona's 8th congressional district. Debbie Lesko won a narrow victory. Our Mark Martin is on this story.
And I would like to formally introduce you and have you make welcome our new Congresswoman.
Former Arizona Governor Jan Brewer announced the victory by Republican and former member of the State House and Senate Debbie Lesko in Arizona's 8th congressional district.
Life takes us on journeys, and this is an incredible journey. And I want to promise you that I am going to continue to work hard for the people in my district and continue to represent you with the values that have made our nation great.
President Trump tweeted in support of Lesko, saying, "Arizona, please get out today and vote Debbie Lesko for Congress in Arizona 08. Strong on border, immigration, and crime. Great on the military. Time is ticking down. Get out and vote today. We need Debbie in Congress." The margin of victory for the U.S. House seat special election was much closer than the GOP wanted. Early returns showed Lesko winning by around 5 percentage points in what the Associated Press described as the reddest of districts in a red state. Trump won it by 21 percentage points in the 2016 presidential election. Lesko defeated Dr. Hiro Tipernini, a former emergency room physician and Democratic political newcomer.
We're going to continue to fight for all of these things. For health care, for education, protecting our seniors, protecting our dreamers, keeping our communities safe, and making sure that we have economic growth.
Tipernini said she plans to run in November's general election. Lesko replaces former Republican Congressman Trent Franks, who stepped down in December amid sexual misconduct allegations. National Republican groups spent more than $500,000 in the race in the suburban Phoenix district. National Democratic groups did not put money into the race. Republican political consultant Chuck Coughlin said Lesko's margin of victory was not a good sign for Republicans in the November midterms. Brewer said the GOP needs to make changes if they want to keep this district and other seats. But for now, the night belonged to Lesko.
All I can say is, wow, this is really something. I'm going to be a Congresswoman. Woo-hoo!
Mark Martin, CBN News.
And here's a look at some of the other big headlines we're following for you today inside the CBN newsroom. A federal judge has ruled against the Trump administration's decision to end the DACA program. The program offers protection for young adult immigrants who were brought to the U.S. as children. The judge said the decision to end the program was never fully explained, and he's giving the White House 90 days to justify canceling the program before his rule is implemented. The president is urging Dr. Ronnie Jackson to keep fighting for his confirmation as VA secretary. Jackson is facing opposition due to allegations of inappropriate workplace behavior. He denies those allegations. Toronto police are still trying to figure out the motive behind the van attack that left 10 people dead. Investigators say minutes before the killing spree, the suspect went on Facebook vowing to destroy women. Meanwhile, the 25-year-old made his first court appearance Monday. He is charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder and 13 counts of attempted murder. You can read more on these stories throughout the day, as well as others, at cbnnews.com. I want to turn now to Washington, D.C., where our Ben Kennedy has been following the visit from France's President Emmanuel Macron.
France's President Emmanuel Macron received a very warm welcome from his friend and ally, President Donald Trump. The two are dealing with trade, ISIS and security, and even issues they don't agree on, like the Iran nuclear deal.
If Iran threatens us in any way, they will pay a price like few countries have ever paid.
A warning for Iran as President Trump met with his French counterpart to tackle a deal meant to keep the Persian country from developing nuclear weapons.
It's a bad deal. It's a bad structure. It's falling down. Should have never, ever been made.
Trump argues that the deal failed to address Iran's ballistic missile program, and there are still concerns about Iran's activities in Syria and Yemen. Macron agreed that he too didn't like the deal, but fears the consequences if the U.S. pulls out.
What we have to work on, obviously with Iran and the different parties in the region, the P5 and our allies, is to find a fair deal where we can fix the overall situation.
We will have a strong blockage to the Mediterranean, which to me is very important, because if we don't, you have Iran going right to the Mediterranean.
European leaders have agreed with Trump to address both Iran's troublemaking and its missile program. Trouble in Syria prompted Trump to praise Macron for joining the strike after the Assad government's recent chemical weapons attack on its own citizens. The talk then turned to climate change, another topic the two leaders don't agree on. Despite their differences, the two embraced during a joint press conference and remain close friends.
I like him a lot.
It showed at a glitzy White House state dinner where Trump wrapped up the first state visit since he took office. The May 12th deadline looms for the Iran nuclear deal and President Trump's decision on whether or not the agreement has been improved, or if the U.S., quite frankly, will basically withdraw from it. Ben Kennedy, CBN News, Washington.
The EPA is spending millions of tax dollars to experiment on animals, and most voters want it to stop. Watchdog group White Coat Waste Project exposed the testing that is being performed on rabbits and mice. Polls show, though, nearly 80% of Republicans and 70% of Democrats do not like their tax dollars being used to fund the research.
And about 20,000 animals a year, millions of tax dollars, multi-million-dollar programs. We're talking about forcing bunnies to inhale diesel truck exhaust. We're talking about terrifying pregnant moms with loud noises, electroshocking babies. We're talking about force-feeding mice and rats to the point of obesity, lard and coconut oil to artificially fatten them up and then expose them to these outdated pollution.
EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt is working to phase out animal testing at his agency. The Supreme Court will be hearing arguments today over President Donald Trump's ban on travelers from several mostly Muslim countries. The court will consider whether the president can indefinitely keep people out of the country based on nationality. Current countries in the ban include Iran, Libya, Somalia, Syria, and Yemen. The Trump administration is asking the court to reverse a lower court ruling striking down the ban. This is the first time the justices are considering whether it violates immigration law or the U.S. Constitution. Yet again, a judge in the United Kingdom ruled against the parents of Alfie Evans, who's been suffering in an undiagnosed brain disease for more than a year. Monday, with permission from the UK courts, the hospital decided to take him off life support against his parents' wishes. The Italian government has offered Alfie citizenship and continued care at a hospital in Rome, but the UK has denied him the ability to travel abroad. His father posted an update on Facebook last night, writing Alfie is going on 24 hours of unassisted breathing, but has not been provided food. He wrote, "How is this humane?" You can follow all updates on Alfie by going to our website. That's cbnnews.com. Coming up, nearly 1 year after being targeted for assassination, Congressman Steve Scalise updates us on his recovery and shares what's helped him to return to work. It's been nearly a year since a gunman opened fire while Republican lawmakers were practicing for their annual charity baseball game. Of course, Majority Whip Steve Scalise was seriously wounded, but he did survive. Here's Abigail Robertson with the story.
June 14th, 2017 could have been a massacre, but thanks to God's protection, over a dozen Republican congressmen who were practicing on this field for their annual charity baseball game are still with us today, giving their firsthand accounts of the big and little miracles that saved their lives.
And you can't explain some of the things that happened on that ball field except that God performed real miracles.
It was a nice summer morning in Virginia when Steve Scalise joined his congressional teammates to prepare for their big game.
And then we're just out there playing baseball on a field, a bunch of guys, feeling like kids again. And then all of a sudden I heard a noise and I thought it was the backfire of a tractor.
But Congressman Trent Kelly, who served in Iraq, knew immediately that was no tractor. He turned to the direction of the gunshots and found himself staring straight down the barrel of a rifle, only about 15 feet away.
And I looked him dead in his face, and he had the most evil, most sinister look.
At that point, the shooter fired 3 shots directly at Kelly. Miraculously, none hit him, and one bullet he sure would have struck him ricocheted off this fence, likely saving his life.
So the calmness and the way that I acted and the things that I did were directly attributable to he guides us as long as we're following his steps. That doesn't mean he'll always protect us. Sometimes that's not in his plans, but he definitely guided my steps that day.
Kelly could then only watch as Scalise fell to the ground after being shot in the left hip.
I went down, I crawled away, and then eventually my arms and legs just gave out. And I didn't know how bad I was hit, but I could feel numb, and I could still hear a lot of gunshots going off.
Scalise started to pray.
And I prayed and asked him for very specific things. And, at that point, it almost was like this calm came over me because I just really felt like God was going to take care of me, and boy, did he ever.
Capitol Police officers David Bailey and Crystal Griner, assigned to Scalise that morning, fired at the shooter. Although wounded in the process, they eventually took him down. Meanwhile, Congressman Brad Winstrup, a former combat surgeon, rushed onto the field to treat Scalise.
Brad came out and applied a tourniquet to where the bleeding was. My trauma surgeon later said if that tourniquet wasn't applied, I would have bled out on the field. I wouldn't have made it.
That was just one of many miracles that day. When EMTs arrived, they quickly loaded Scalise into an ambulance, headed for George Washington University Hospital. Given rush hour traffic, the ambulance hardly moved. Then, one EMT noticed a helicopter flying towards the baseball field. Even though they had no communication with the chopper, they made the call to turn around, hoping it was coming to pick up Scalise.
And sure enough, the helicopter landed and it was there to pick me up. And 4 minutes later, I'm in the emergency room at MedStar Hospital. And they said maybe one more minute and I wouldn't have made it. So the fact that that happened, I would have died in the ambulance. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
When Scalise reached the hospital, he had no blood pressure.
And you talk to most doctors, will tell you you're not going to make it if you have a zero blood pressure when you arrive. They had to replenish my blood supply, literally putting more than 2 times the amount of blood that a human body has into me because I had so much internal bleeding.
He lay unconscious for 3 days following the shooting before finally waking up. Even in the hospital, he faced danger after developing a life-threatening infection.
They weren't sure whether I was going to make it those first few days, but finally I did, and thank God for the miracles and for the prayers all around the country, just the unbelievable, overwhelming amount of prayers and support I got from people that I know and I don't know, and I'm so thankful for that.
The bullet shattered Scalise's femur and seriously damaged his hip and pelvis, which took steel plates to rebuild.
What did the doctors tell you about your recovery those first few weeks in the hospital?
They were still trying to figure out just how I was going to respond, how my body was going to respond to all the injuries. And, they feel confident that I'll, they definitely said I'd be able to walk again. It's just a question, would I need crutches and would I be able to run again? And a lot of that's still in question because there's still a lot of nerve and muscle damage.
In the face of all that Scalise told me, there was no doubt in his mind he'd be back on the Hill one day.
I mean, I love doing this job. I missed it a lot after those first few weeks. Once I started to kind of think about getting better, the next thing I thought about was getting back to work.
Less than 4 months later, on September 28th, Scalise triumphantly returned to Congress, praising the Lord for sparing his life.
When I was laying out on that ball field, the first thing I did once I was down and I couldn't move anymore is I just started to pray. And I will tell you, it gave me an unbelievable sense of calm, knowing that at that point it was in God's hands.
Congressman Kelly told CBN News he wasn't surprised to see the majority whip back so soon after the shooting.
We just continued to pray for him, and I won't say I knew he was coming back. I will say this, I knew if it was God's will, he was going to be back, and if not, he had something greater planned for all of us.
Scalise says while he's been a man of faith for a long time, he's kept it relatively private. Now, he's happy to share the amazing things God has done in his life with the world.
And I think the fact that it's been able to touch so many people, I'm happy to help continue to spread that word. I am not a minister. I'm not a preacher. I'm a member of Congress who has a great job. I love being able to be a part of helping turn around a country, and the greatest country in the history of the world, but a country that was founded in a belief in God.
Scalise says he's a living example that prayer makes a difference.
The fact that I get to have people come up to me and say, I prayed for you, and I get to tell them, your prayers have been answered, and those prayers have been so helpful to me. The prayers really did help give me strength.
And to him, it's offensive when people say otherwise.
They need those prayers. I needed those prayers. And so, how dare somebody say, don't pray for the people that have been injured by, by a tragedy, go and try to use that as an opportunity to hijack their tragedy, push your agenda. I think that's offensive.
Scalise truly returned to the Hill a new man.
So you can take a tragedy and go, that's awful that happened, and it is. But I have no doubt that God's hands were involved in that from start to finish.
Although his recovery has been remarkable, challenges still lie ahead. Scalise faces rigorous physical therapy and asks for continued prayer for complete healing.
Please pray that my nerves that have been injured from the attack can come back and function, and a lot of them are, and I'm so blessed to be able to do the things I do now.
It's hard to say if Scalise will ever resume his position at second base, but his teammates are determined to keep the 109-year-old charity event going strong.
This year's game takes place here at Nationals Park on June 14th. Exactly 1 year after the shooting in Alexandria. Before our interview ended, Congressman Scalise wanted to make sure he let our CBN News audience know how much your prayers have meant to him.
I can tell you the power of prayer is real, it's powerful, and it was incredibly helpful to give me the strength I needed to come back. So thanks for the prayers. They truly were needed and appreciated.
Still ahead, we are headed to the upper room to see in Studio 5 to see how these worshipers are connecting people to God. Stay with us. I want to head to Dallas right now to sample an unforgettable worship experience and meet the people behind it. Take a look at the upper room. I guess I'd like to begin with sort of the birth of Upper Room. It feels to me, in reading the history and understanding, it began with prayer. Mm-hmm. And what was the prayer?
Well, I had an invitation from a business leader in downtown Dallas to, he had space in the back, and he wanted to open up for prayer and worship. And I had a history with the prayer movement and was kind of in transition, and I thought, well, let's head down there and see what happens. Mm-hmm. And so we gathered some of our friends, and we just began praying. For the sole purpose of gathering, it was to pray.
What was the prayer when you were, was there anything specific? Was there a list of things you were asking God to do?
You know, as we started praying, we knew whatever we needed, we had. So we prayed from that place of, Lord, you've called us to pray here. And since you've called us, our assignment is to minister to you and speak what you're telling us to speak, and everything has come forth from that
place. And this has given birth to a church, but it's also given birth to popular music ministry.
Sure.
How did that come in?
I came in probably in the beginning of 2013, and I was pretty kind of burnt out by just the church in general.
Haven't we all?
Yeah. And I wanted a place where I could worship, but not just worship, but that like it would be a place where people would actually stop what they were doing and respond to the presence. Where I wouldn't have to sing just the song, but where I could keep going. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, there's beautiful places all over the world, churches, and it's awesome. But for me, I was like, I haven't found my family, like my tribe. And I saw these people start to worship, and they were responding to his presence. And that was like, this is what I've been craving for years and years and years. And so from then on, I plugged myself in, I started leading a prayer set. And little did I know, and I'm sure that you can kind of talk about this as well, like, we didn't plan on having these YouTube videos or anything like that. We were just, everything we've ever done is from that place of ministry, and it was hard.
Joel, describe some of the things you've seen happen inside these experiences.
Oh my gosh. There was this couple that moved from, I can't remember where they moved from the country, but their daughter was in the hospital, and they would watch us sing. And the Lord healed her and it was amazing, but they moved to Dallas because of that. And it's crazy to see how, like, us being in a set for 2 hours, sometimes we're like, yes, we're so gripped, and sometimes we're like, okay, we're gonna kind of tread waters. But the Lord is so faithful to, like, still move with our simple obedience and, like, just showing up and ministering to his heart. Like, that's a call of our house. We minister to his heart above everything, you know? And somehow that it can translate, even like what he was saying, it translates to a camera and then someone gets healed. Not because it's me singing, but because the Lord is so faithful to honor, like, his presence, you know? And so I've just seen a lot of people encounter the Lord by just us showing up, ministering to his heart. So yeah, I would say that. It's really amazing to see that.
One of the things I read you guys say is you believe in a get in and get out. What is that? What does that mean?
Coming in and going out. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Solomon, I got it from the I think 1 Kings 3, when the angel of the Lord encounters Solomon, says, what is it that you need? And everyone knows he asked for wisdom, but why he asked for wisdom? And he said that he was a minor, that he was young, and he didn't know how to come in or go out. And it's found in the life of Moses, it's in Joshua's life, Caleb's life. Like, throughout the Bible, you have this term, coming in and going out. It just means to come in to worship and then to go out to witness. It's a Hebraic warfare term. And so come in to worship properly, see him rightly. You can go out to witness him, fight for you. And so it's just been a rhythm of life. And practically what that looks like at the upper room, it's morning, noon, and night prayer. So I know there's a lot of prayer houses that are 24/7, or they're praying as much as they can. When I was reading Psalms 55:17, and it says, evening, morning, and noon I cry out to you. And I thought, we can do that.
We leave you with this word today. When you know who God is and fully grasp that he can do all things, the question of how he does it no longer matters. So commit yourself fully to trust him today and every day. With that word, be sure to make this a wonderful Wednesday. Remember, you can always find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. And we'd love to hear from you. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.